In this video, I'm going to talk about port access control list or port ACL. First, we should understand the PACL, and after that we can talk about the configuration and also the verification command that we have for port ACL. What is the port ACL or what is the PACL actually? Port ACL are similar to rotor ACLs or RACL. You know that we can configure rotor ACL or RACL in one rotor, okay, when we want to control traffic that is entering or outgoing from one interface. But this is the ACL in a layer 2 switch. Actually, port ACL are similar to rotor ACL but are supported on physical interfaces and configured on layer 2 interfaces on a switch. Actually, in rotor ACL, we configure ACL on the layer 3 interface of a rotor, but here we configure the PACL on the layer 2 interface of a switch. Okay, port ACL support only inbound traffic filtering. You know that the rotor ACL support outbound and also inbound traffic filtering. Let me write here about the if we compare of these two type of ACL, we can say when we talk about the rotor ACL or RACL, actually this is the most common ACL that we know. Okay, in this type of ACL we configure ACL, for example, standard ACL or extended ACL, and after that we can apply it to the rotor, okay, layer 3 interface, or in some cases maybe you want to apply it to MLS or multi-layer switch, for example SVI interface or layer 3 interfaces. Okay, you learned about this ACL previously, but now we talk about the PACL. Okay, PACL means port ACL. When you use the port ACL, you can configure again standard ACL or extended ACL and also MAC based ACL. Let me write here standard ACL, exactly the same ACL that you configured previously for the RACL, and also you can configure a extended ACL, okay, the same ACL, and also here we can configure MAC based ACL, okay, MAC ACL, for example, you can control over with the MAC address, okay, and after that we can assign it to the switch, means layer 2 switch, okay, and then to the layer 2 interface. It is so interesting, but here we have one difference about the rotor ACL. Okay, we can apply it to the inbound direction, inbound traffic actually, and also outbound traffic or outgoing traffic. But about the port ACL, we can apply it and we can use it only for filtering about the inbound traffic. Actually, the processing of the port ACL is similar to that of the rotor ACL. The switch examines ACLs associated with features configured on a given interface and permits or denies packet forwarding based on packet matching criteria in the ACL. When applied to a trunk port, the ACL filters traffic on all VLANs present on the trunk port. When applied to a port with voice VLAN, the ACL traffic on both data and also filter traffic on both data and also voice VLAN. Okay, the main benefit of with port ACL is that it can filter IP traffic using IP access list and non-IP traffic using MAC access list. Okay, this is the benefits of the port ACL. Both type of filtering can be achieved, that is a layer 2 interface can have both an IP access list and a MAC access list applied to it at the same time. Let me to show you one simple scenario. After that you can easily understand what is the port ACL. I will configure port ACL, okay, in this scenario on this layer 2 switch. Okay, this is a raw switch without any configuration, and here we have PC1, PC2, PC3 and PC4. I want to show you how you can control passing traffic between these pieces. First, let me to configure the scenario from the scratch. This is our switch without any configuration. enable, configure terminal, for example, hostname switch 1, okay? And then let me to assign IP address to the VPC1, PC2, PC3, and PC4. About the PC1, the IP is 10.0.0.1, mask is 24, and gateway is 10.0.0.254. Then about the PC2 IP is the, for example, 10.0.0.2 to 24 is the prefix length, and then 10.0.0.254, this is the default gateway. About the PC3, IP is 10.0.0.3, mask is 24, gateway is 10.0.0.254, and finally PC4, IP is 10.0.0.4, okay? And then mask is 24 and the gateway is 10.0.0.254. We expect to see connectivity between PC1 and PC2, PC3, and PC4 now, because we don't have any port ACL until now. Ping 10.0.0.2, we have connectivity from PC1 to PC2, and then ping, for example, 10.0.0.3, again we have connectivity without any problem, okay? And finally, ping 10.0.0.4. As you can see, we don't have any problem related to the connectivity. Let me to configure a standard ACL or extended ACL, okay? That with this configuration, we will see that we have only communication between PC1 and PC3 and PC2 and PC4. Only first, I want to configure one simple ACL for ETH00 of the switch interface. Look at here. In the switch, we can configure this simple ACL. You can configure a standard ACL or extended ACL. I'm going to configure one extended ACL, IP access list. Okay, this is the ACL that we configure. IP access list, for example, extended. The name of this ACL is A. Okay, and after that we will go to the switch config ext NACL. Here, let me to use permit IP. If you want, you can configure permit TCP, UDP, any feature that you learn about them in the access list. Permit IP means all traffic, all IP traffic. Permit IP from the host 10.0.0.1 to the host 10.0.0.3. As you can see, actually, because I want to apply this ACL to the ETH00, it means that all traffic sent with the source IP of 10.0.0.1 means the IP of PC1 to the destination IP address of 10.0.0.3 means the IP address of the PC3 is permitted. Don't forget, I want to apply it to the ETH00. It is so easy. Switch config. Look at your switch config interface, like the router ACL interface ETH00. This is the command that we have here. You know that this is the layer 2 interface, or this is a switch port interface. If you want, you can use switch port command, but it is not important. It is not necessary, because by default this interface is a layer 2 interface. And after that, here you use again IP access group command that you learned before about it. IP access group, and after that the name of ACL, for example, the name of ACL A is A, and don't forget, only you can apply it in inbound direction, not outbound direction. In. That's it. So easy. Let me to show you what happened after this configuration. You know that this ACL only control the traffic that we receive on the ETH00. After apply this policy, this ACL to the ETH00, only the source IP, the traffic received from this source IP, and with this destination IP can forward it, can receive on the ETH00. Other traffic will be dropped. Let me to show you. It is so easy. In the switch, in this switch, let me to show you show access list. Here, show access list. As you can see here, we have some ACLs. These ACLs are not related to our scenario. I didn't configure these ACLs. These ACLs are default ACL in this iOS, but I will configure my ACL. Look at here, IP access list extended A. Permit IP from the host 10.0.0.1 to the host 10.0.0.3. That's it. Okay, this is the ACL that now we have. if you want, you can verify it. Show IP access list, for example, A. This is our ACL. And also show run interface ETH00. It can show us that I didn't configure, I didn't apply any ACL, any feature to this interface. Because of that,